So, because you raised the issue of the middle classes, let's talk about the a couple of issues that Mr. Raghav Chadha raised in the parliament. He raised issues on gig workers' rights, on expensive food at airports, consumer rights and food safety standards, and traffic congestion in Indian cities. These are predominantly the issues that touch the middle classes. Increasing,
No, some of them are very legitimate, larger
right?
issues like traffic congestion in cities.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say it's a middle class issue. It's an issue affecting every single citizen in a city.
Right.
Hyderabad city, for instance, statistics show that something like 122 hours of precious time during working hours are lost per capita per
Hmm.
year.
Hmm.
So every one of us, the poorest and the richest, is affected. So some of them are genuine. Some, of course, a little play into the galleries.
Correct.
I can understand.
Hmm.
But some of them are legitimate, genuine issues that deserve to be seriously addressed.
Right. But increasingly we feel that we as middle classes feel that we've been deceived by our elected representatives, that our voices are not being heard. Why do you think that is?
It's a great question. There is a tremendous disjunction between the people and those who are in authority, are not merely politicians.
Okay.
Bureaucracy.
Hmm.
The real thing is not even politics. I know what I say is unfashionable,
Hmm.
but trust me, if you take politicians and bureaucrats as two classes of people that determine our fates, our collective fates, because they are the ones who deliver the services, who spend public money, apply the principles of law, and execute the laws and policies. Politician, however bad the person appears, because they abuse each other, they appear to be terrible to us.
Hmm.
However bad they abuse each other, they have an incredibly difficult task. And there are serious compulsions, sometimes when they subvert the process of law. But the real damage is done by the bureaucracy. You know, the famous television serial and books, S Minister and S Prime Minister in Britain, they're all about a politician elected to office with the promise of change. That's
Hmm.
the mandate derived from the people, promising, offering change. And the bureaucrat standing firm to preserve status quo without allowing change to happen. While it was humorous, the central dilemma is not entirely unreal.
Hmm.
There are wonderful public servants. There are wonderful bureaucrats who serve the society remarkably well. I'm talking of bureaucracy as a class, not about individuals. So, bureaucracy as a class is not responding to the challenges and wishes of the people. Bureaucracy does not see itself as the servant of the public because of the asymmetry of power in our country. 90% of the poor or 90% of the people of India are weaker and poorer and less influential than an average, not senior civil servants, not officers and IAS and IPS, etc. I'm talking about an average ordinary government employee, economically, in terms of organizational power, in terms of access to influence, and in terms of job security for life. So, given that, and given the fact that we fail to fashion bureaucracy as an instrument to deliver effectively, almost nothing gets delivered. Once that happens, people are disenchanted. Every election, including you and I,
Hmm.
and the poor much more so, with enormous hope and anticipation that they're going to be delivered out of the crisis they face every day. People vote. They imagine the excitement in this country. No other country has such noisy elections, such excitement in elections. And first past the post systems in the world, no country sees greater polling percentages. Not only with this 80s, 90s, with removing some of the inflated numbers in the electoral rolls after SIR, etc. Even earlier, we were getting 75, 80% quite often, percentages, particularly in the state elections, because state is the unit of politics, not the national level for the people. So people vote with great anticipation, excitement in an illiterate and poor country. And yet, each time they're disappointed.
Hmm.
Almost nothing substantive, which is enhancing the collective good, is promoted or furthered in most cases. At best, a few projects, a few mission mode things. And of late, good things are happening, like infrastructure is improving, etc. But in general, the steady work required to improve delivery of school education, of healthcare, or rule of law, to promote rule of law and give everybody access to the protection of justice system in the country, and basic infrastructure, or basic amenities like drinking water in Hyderabad, the traffic management in the city, or something else. All of us feel the anger, and the poor feel much more so. The middle classes feel strongly because they are conscious of the taxes they're paying.
Mm.
In India, out of the vast population, only about a small number pay actually income tax of a significant measure. We are a very unusual country where about 4.5 times the per capita income is more or less exempt from income tax. No other country has such a very high uh, floor for the income tax. And therefore, while they're paying taxes, indirect taxes mostly, there is no consciousness that they're paying out of their pocket. The middle class is because they're paying the income tax checks. There is this awareness. Therefore, they're even more angry. But the real issue is not politics. Politics has failed to the extent that they fail to reshape the bureaucracy as an instrument of delivery. But the primary failing is not that of political class. It is the bureaucratic class. And the primary failing of politicians is not being able to hold the bureaucracy to account to make it an effective instrument in the service of the people.